and gentlemen, the proposition would like to define talented students today will be students ranging from all ages, as in from primary to about secondary school. We like to limit it to around that age of education, where students are actually doing academically very well, and they are excelling and one are like the top few in their classes. And we would like to say that we would like to limit it to this debate to a democratic country, and it is a developed democratic country. And ladies and gentlemen, in the current status quo today, we see that this kind of talented students are being separated and being taught differently by their peers. In primary school, for example, after primary 4, the student will go through a process called streaming, where he'll be classified under EM1, EM2 or EM3, where EM1 caters to a faster learning pace, EM2 caters to a average, and while EM3 caters to a more slower learning pace compared to the rest. And we also see this in the, when moving on to secondary school. When the primary school student moves on from primary school to a secondary school, he or she will be classified in 3 areas, either a special stream, an express stream, and a normal stream. And ladies and gentlemen, we, the proposition, do not see what is the big problem here today when we actually allow talented students to be taught differently from their peers. Well, the opposition today have to show us that why is it so bad to have separate teaching when we do not see any harms in society created from separate teaching today? I, as the first speaker, will be talking on 2 points. I'll be speaking about the rights of the students and about the influence that they will receive if talented students are not taught separately from their peers. While my second speaker will be touching on the point about different learning styles of different learning people. So now I'll move on to my main point now. On to my first point about students having the right. Ladies and gentlemen, as we have limited it to a democratic developed country, people there are paying taxes to the government to help improve the country itself on the whole. And one of the improvements in this country itself comprises of the education system. Moreover, ladies and gentlemen, even when the student goes to school, he or she still has to pay school fees to the government. So, from what we say, from all the amount of money that the people are paying, they have actually earned a right to actually demand for better education for their children. So, no thank you ma'am. Since they have the right, ladies and gentlemen, we do not believe why they should be separated from their peers in teaching. Why? Allow me to give you an example. Everybody has different learning styles, as what my second speaker will be touching on. So if you're going to cluster a class of good and bad students together, the good students and the bad students have different learning styles and moves at different pace of teaching. So why must we actually allow the grades of the good students to suffer? Because they will generally be faster learners compared to the rest. We do not believe we should actually deprive the talented students of the opportunity to excel, as in a democratic country, every individual is given equal opportunities to excel themselves. And on to my second main point on influence, ladies and gentlemen. When you mix a class of talented students with their peers, they would potentially be influenced by negative from their peers as into students which are less efficient in their studies. Why? Because we... Yes, ma'am.
In the current situation, they are already excelling, so what makes you think that when you separate them, they'll excel even further?
Ma'am, you have to understand that when we separate them into separate classes, the competitive spirit among these people will increase. Thus, it will force them to excel even more. Okay, going on to my point, back to my point. What I have said really, that the talented students will be influenced by their peers, thus affecting their academic grades to increase. Why, ladies and gentlemen, studies have already shown that more people actually succumb to negative pressure than to positive pressure. Yes, the proposition might say that there is a possibility of influencing the not so talented people to becoming more talented, but we do not believe so, because we already the studies have already shown that people have succumbed to negative influence than positive. Thus, this will pose a potential detriment to the talented students, as the academic performance would be at risk. The normal students would try to influence the talented students to actually perhaps sacrifice their study time to help play a game of play computer games. Thus, this would then actually affect the academic performance of the good students, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, we say that talented students should be taught separately from their peers, because they have the right to do so, and the influence of, we do not want to raise the influence on the talented students. Therefore, this motion must stand. Thank you.